Before you build yourself an online course, make sure you watch this video. I was halfway done into building my course. I already mapped out my 8-week roadmap. I was actually in week 6 about 3 weeks ago when I had to change direction because I realized I was solving the wrong problem. Now, this one shift changed the whole direction of my business, but I'm happy that it happened because what's the point of doing all of the work to realize that nobody is interested? So if you're a working professional trying to monetize your skill set, this video can save you months of wasted effort. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yinka and I help working professionals monetize their skill set and build a 6-figure business without having to quit their jobs. So here's what happened. Let me share the story with you. So now for some of you that might have been following my process, I've been documenting, on a weekly basis, everything that I'm doing to monetize my business skill set. And so my whole plan was to, launch a business course for business owners. And because I was certain that this was something that other business owners would appreciate, I'm very good when it comes to building systems, building structures that makes life super easy within a business. I started to go in that direction. And so I started to make plans on a week by week basis to, create a full blown out course. But thankfully, even though I was thinking about it on a weekly basis, I'd not gone the whole 9 years to kind of like dot all of my T's and break all of my I's. Because I remember that even in my last video, I was sharing with you how I'd not completed my course, but these are the plans and these are the things I'm going to be doing on a week by week basis leading to that, deadline. And I know me as a person, I work really well under pressure. So I know that, okay, in 2 weeks, I probably will be able to work day and night to really like just chunk out this entire thing that I needed to do since I already kind of mapped out my roadmap and I knew what I was supposed to be doing. But something happened about 3 weeks ago. I started to feel very unsettled, with regards to the direction of the course I wanted to launch, or rather the digital product I wanted to launch. I felt that even though it was something that was valuable, I felt like that was not the most valuable thing that I could give business owners. And I'm also a business owner. I currently have 4 businesses, right? I know the day-to-day struggles I have to go, through those businesses. And so one day I was just thinking, what you intend to offer the audience right now, is that the best thing that they need right now? What is the biggest pain point that you as an individual would love for someone to solve for you? And when I look at the whole 9 yards, one of the biggest pain points is actually the workforce. It's your staffing, your employees. It's so difficult sometimes having to, manage people, having to ensure that people understand the vision of the organization that they work for, having to ensure that these people are actually even willing to bring their best self to work every day. And I can also relate because as an employee, I know what it is, right? When you have to go to work, you have a 9 to 5 job, you have so many things to do. And so I noticed that that was a huge pain point. And that is one of the frustrations that I probably have on a week by week basis, right? And I can probably write a book in my sleep. And so as that started to come to my mind, I was like, are you sure that you're trying to solve the right problem? Because this is a much bigger pain point that you have. So while you're trying to, go through the route of building business systems and procedures, while that is important, this seems to be a bigger pain point. And so I started to talk to my other friends that are also business owners, and many of them could also share that same struggle, like their staffing, their employees, their workforce, their team. If certain things could be resolved, life would be so much easier for them. And that kind of made me decide to pivot. And I am grateful that I did not create my course full blown out, because if I did, it would have been so painful and really difficult for me to pivot because I'll be thinking of all the hard work that I've put in. And so it's very important when you are thinking of monetizing your skill set, when you're thinking of building a course or a digital product, whatever it is that you're trying to build, it's very important that you take your time. It's okay for you to think it through, walk yourself through it and start drafting. But don't go the whole 9 yards where you're building a finished product. And something else that is so important in this journey is the fact that I was always creating content around it. I also noticed content that had more conversations around it versus some that did not have. And even though I feel like business systems and procedures and all of that are important, I now have a clearer picture in terms of how I intend to fit that into my new direction. But I know that, when it comes to monetizing our skill set, we want to focus on one of the biggest pain that we believe that our audience have. And if I have to rank the pain points that they have, the workforce like ranks number one for many of them. Obviously marketing is a big deal and all of that. But when you look at, all of the things that they would like to focus on, business systems is not their biggest problem because even if they have a scattered system, even if they are stressed out, if they're able to make sales, if they're able to find a good helping hand, then they're good, right? And so that helped me to just finalize and decide to pivot. And also because when I look at myself, I noticed that I have a very great structure, I have a very great system, but yet I still find myself frustrated. In one of my businesses, oh my goodness, there are templates laid out for everything. My staff don't even have to think outside of the box for certain things because some of the roles are so checklist based that you just need to follow the checklist. And I still find that sometimes the staff are still not doing what they're supposed to do. And that's when I realized that it's not really a system issue that's the biggest problem we have as business owners, because I have a great system. Obviously there's room for improvement, but I have a very solid system. It's the workforce, it's the talent. They still can create pain for you despite having a great system. And that's when I was like, you know what? This is my new direction. I'm going to focus on, the workforce. I'm going to make sure that whatever products that I'm creating is get towards this direction so that business owners now have a better pool to pull out from. And then they are better supported, which then allows them to focus on other things like marketing, growth and strategy. So coming back to you, I want you to take a real audit of your target audience. Don't just pick what you like, because I think that's one of the mistakes that I was going to make. Because I'm very good in building systems, I'm very good with, procedures and structure. I was going to tend and go towards my safe spot, right? This is what I like to do. This is what I can do with my eyes closed. I'm going to start with that. But is that what your audience really wants? Okay. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to build a business and we're not trying to build a business that we like. We're trying to build a business that solves a problem. And so, going through all of that, I realized that you have to get out of your comfort zone and there's a time and place for you to, create products around systems and structures and processes. But right now, this is also a struggle that you have. And this is a struggle that other people have. So definitely, this is where you need to start from. And it's so important that we're in tune because if I didn't feel unsure and wanted to keep pushing despite, I probably would not have given birth to this new business idea that I have. And the progress that I've made in just a very short time of realizing my new direction is amazing. And sometimes we have to be so in tune with ourselves because if something is restricting us, then that might be a reason for us to pause and really check things out. Because for me, even though I knew that I had a deadline and I knew that I was going to meet my deadline just because of how I work, there was still something that kept holding me back and it felt like I was procrastinating. I was like, okay, you know what, I'll do it later. I want to focus on marketing. I want to focus on, building community exposure, branding and all that stuff. But the minute I realized that this is a new direction, I'm going to focus on workforce, building talent, and helping business owners have a great team that then makes life easier for them. It was a no-brainer. I've made so much progress in it. And even though obviously now I have a new launch date and I have a much shorter launch date. My initial launch date was 8 weeks. It was an 8-week roadmap I had. I got into my 6th week. I was supposed to have actually launched last week if I went through with the course. But now going in a new direction, I have a new launch date, which is like 4 weeks from now, but I believe that I can make it, right? I believe I can make it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, because I want you to know that if you're thinking of pivoting because you feel uncertain about the course or the direction that you're going, that's absolutely okay. And now there's a difference between, oh, I'm procrastinating or I'm having second thoughts because I'm worried and I'm scared. No, it should be the fact that I am good to go, but I feel like this may not be the best direction that I should be going. Because left to me, I can still go ahead and launch that course, but I knew that I would be doing myself a disservice because I, as a small business owner, that's not the biggest pain point that I have. And so right now, I want to solve the biggest pain point that I have. And I've also confirmed that, other people have as, my next course of direction. So I'm hoping that this video kind of gives you the motivation that you need and the courage that you need or the confidence that you need to boldly go in the direction that you actually want to go because you're convinced that that's the right thing to do. Now, there are three things that actually even gave me insight into actually changing my direction, right? Now, one of the things that I want to also share is sometimes we're looking outward, for the solution, right? We're like, okay, let's check the market need. Let's see what the audience is saying. And while all of those things are correct and they're okay, sometimes it's okay for us also looking inward. Because for me, even though I'd kind of done my market research and I knew that there was a need for businesses to have clear systems, clear procedures, and whatnot, I was also frustrated, right? And I was frustrated despite the fact that I had those systems, those procedures in place. And it was the fact that it was the team that I had certain problems with, right? Ensuring that they're doing things when they're supposed to do these things because of how much it matters to the business growth and to the sales of the business. And, ensuring that people just know how to do certain things. And also the culture and the environment of the locations of where the businesses were focused was also all of the things that added to the frustration and, deciding to go in this direction of building, a better workforce, you know, it's just been a game changer because it's my frustration that is giving birth to this business idea. It's my frustration that is giving birth to this new direction. And if at all, if nothing happens, the fact that I will be solving a genuine problem that I have is enough to keep me moving and to keep me pushing. And so another reason that I want you to think about is it's that every time we need to look out for outward validation, sometimes you might be the reason why you want to solve a problem. And, one thing that I've also realized is that when we wear a different mindset, we begin to see other business owners that have one similar mindset. Nothing is new. I heard of a story of the lady or the owner of the company that makes the Barbie doll that many of us know today. And the whole process of creating that doll was born out of an inner frustration. So it wasn't as if there was like a market need out there that they were trying to solve. It was the fact that they were trying to solve a family problem, an internal problem, and that gave birth to a business that the world has come to appreciate. So I want you to be confident in yourself, be in tune with your mind, have faith in yourself, and whatever you believe that your mind is telling you to do, search it deeper and go in that direction. Because in all honesty, that has helped me to move in this new direction. And I'm so happy that he happened. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, you know what? I need to do this video quickly because I know that there are probably other people out there that feel like, oh, they've come such a long way. They don't want to they don't want to have to stop and then go start all over again. If that's what is needed, please go ahead and get that done. Also, another lesson that I've learned in the process is the fact that, hey, if I didn't actually pivot, take out that time to really get in tune with myself and really listen to that inner voice and listen to that frustration, I might have ended up solving the wrong problem, right? So it's important that we are putting their needs first, which might also be your own needs, and prioritizing what's the highest problem that I have or they have that I want to solve, and not necessarily go with what we are comfortable with or what we like. So what I want to say is give yourself time and permission to pause. Give yourself permission to reflect. And if you feel like you are not in tune 100% with the direction that you're going when it comes to the idea that you're trying to monetize, just take a break. It's okay. I took a break. And I took like a 2.5 week break or thereabout. I've not posted any video in about 3 weeks. And it's been a game changer. It saved me a lot. I'm more pumped up about the direction I'm going, and I'm more convinced that something great is going to happen. And so I'm hoping that the same thing happens to you. And if you believe that you're in the right direction, then stay on course, keep going, keep pushing, and more importantly, make sure that you actually launch, right? Almost doesn't count. What counts is we got it done and we published it to the world and did the best that we could with what we have. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you also hit the follow button if you're yet to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to share with another working professional who is thinking about monetizing their skill set so that together we can make that money, all right? Build that six-figure business that we desire so that we can have financial freedom and time freedom. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.